According to Professor R.A. Fisher, maximum likelihood is a reliable method of point estimation. So we expect many more good properties from MLE. But unfortunately, sometimes MLE disappoints us. In this module, we will discuss some such types of situations that will raise our interest and attention towards the appropriate application of this method in statistics. In this module, we will consider some characteristic feature of maximum likelihood estimators. Some of them are small sample features, whereas some others are large sample features. Those features will be described in this module through some interesting and motivating examples. Let x1, x2, xn be IID rectangular 0 theta variables, where theta belongs to the open interval 0 to infinity. Then given the realization vector x, the likelihood function is Lx theta equal to 1 by theta to the power n, provided 0 less than xi less than equal to theta for all I from 1 to n, and this is equivalent to saying that theta is greater than equal to x order n, which is nothing but the maximum of x1, x2, xn, and the likelihood function L theta x equal to 0 otherwise. So theta hat MLE will be the maximum order statistic x order n, and this is already discussed. Now the density of x order n is gt equal to n by theta to the power n into t to the power n minus 1, provided 0 less than t less than equal to theta and equal to 0 otherwise. Using this density, we can now check that expectation of x order n is equal to n by n plus 1 into theta, which is not equal to theta but converges to theta as n tends to infinity. So we can say that in this example, the maximum order statistic x order n is a biased estimator of theta, and it is only asymptotically unbiased for theta. The previous example was an example which shows that MLE may not be unbiased. Our next example will give a similar scenario. Let x1, x2, xn be a random sample from normal theta 1, theta 2, where theta 1 denotes the mean and theta 2 the variance, minus infinity less than theta 1 less than infinity and theta 2 greater than 0. Then the maximum likelihood estimator of theta 2 is capital S square equal to 1 by n summation I from 1 to n xi minus x bar whole square, that is the sample variance with divisor n, and this result will be discussed later. Here a square is not an unbiased estimator of theta 2 because expectation of a square is equal to n minus 1 by n into theta 2. Now we can note that a square is asymptotically unbiased for theta 2, just like our previous example, as here also under n tends to infinity, expectation of a square tends to theta 2. Next we come to another example. This example will show that MLE may not be unique. Let x1, x2, xn be IID rectangular theta and theta plus 1 variables, where theta belongs to the real line. Then the likelihood function L theta equal to 1, provided theta less than equal to xi less than equal to theta plus 1 for all I from 1 to n, and the likelihood function equal to 0 otherwise. Equivalently, we can say that L theta equal to 1 provided x order n minus 1 less than equal to theta less than equal to x order 1, and the likelihood function equal to 0 otherwise. This implies the likelihood function has only two values in this situation, that is 0 and 1, and among these two values 1 is the highest value. Now in maximum likelihood estimation, our objective is to find that value of theta which maximizes the likelihood function. So in this example, any value of theta in closed interval x order n minus 1 to x order 1 is able to maximize the likelihood function, and hence is a maximum likelihood estimate of theta. As a note, we can observe that if x order n minus 1 is equal to x order 1, then only the unique ML estimate of theta is either x order 1 or x order n minus 1. Another example in the same direction, which will show that the MLE may not be unique, is as follows. Let x follows probability mass function small f, where small f belongs to a set containing 4 PMFs f1, f2, f3 and f4, where f1x is a PMF of binomial distribution with n equal to 5 and success probability 0.8. f2x is the PMF of a Poisson lambda distribution with lambda equal to 1. f3x is equal to 0.8 into 0.2 to the power x, which is nothing but PMF of a geometric distribution. And finally, f4x equal to minus 0.4 to the power x plus 1 divided by x plus 1 times log of 0.6. Now question is, given x, we have to find the most likely choice of the PMF small f. Here in this example, the small f itself is the unknown parameter theta, and the parameter space is the collection of the given PMFs, that is f1, f2, f3 and f4. So given x equal to 0, the likelihood function L theta, which is equal to probability that x equal to 0 given theta, will be equal to 0.8 provided theta equal to f1. This will be 0.27 provided theta equal to f2. In the same way, the likelihood will be 0.8 again for theta equal to f3, and lastly it will be 0.78 for theta equal to f4 with a slight computation. So from these values we can say that the likelihood function L theta is maximum for any of f1 or f3. This implies under x equal to 0, the most likely choice of theta belongs to a set f1 and f3. So in this example, the most likely choice of theta, that is the most likely choice of the PMF f, is either f1 or f3. Clearly here the maximum likelihood estimate of theta is not unique. Our next example will discuss that maximum likelihood estimators may not exist at all. To this end, let us consider the example. Let x1, x2, xn be IID Bernoulli P, where P denotes the success probability and P belongs to the open interval 0 to 1. Here the likelihood function of P is LP equal to P to the power summation xi into 1 minus P to the power n minus summation xi. Now if summation xi equal to 0, which is equivalent to saying xi equal to 0 for all I from 1 to n, then the likelihood function LP will become 1 minus P whole to the power n, which is supremum at P equal to 0, but P is greater than 0 according to the given parameter space. Similarly, if summation xi equal to n, which is equivalent to saying xi equal to 1 for all I from 1 to n, then the likelihood function LP equal to P to the power n, which is supremum at P equal to 1, but P is less than 1 for the given parameter space. Thus, in each of the two extreme cases, that is x bar equal to 0 or 1, the supremum is attained at the boundary of the parameter space omega equal to 0 to 1 open interval. Now, in the case of 0 less than summation xi less than n, the likelihood function LP is supremum at P equal to the sample mean x bar, which now belongs to the 0 to 1 open interval, just like P belongs to the 0 to 1 open interval. So this implies the sample mean x bar is the maximum likelihood estimator of P provided 0 less than summation xi less than n, that is the sample mean x bar lies in 0 to 1 open interval. Otherwise, the maximum likelihood estimator of P does not exist. Now consider the two important notes in this context. Note number 1. If P lies in the closed interval 0 to 1, that is the parameter space is closed interval 0 to 1, then the maximum likelihood estimator of P is the sample mean x bar as usual. Now consider note 2. The parameter space open interval 0 to 1 creates some trouble in defining the maximum likelihood estimator of P if the samples imply either the sample mean x bar is 0 or 1. But probability of either of these two cases is asymptotically negligible under P belongs to 0 to 1 open interval if n tends to infinity. This is because probability that x bar equal to 0 or 1 is same as probability that summation xi is 0 or n, and as summation xi follows binomial np distribution, hence this probability is equal to 1 minus p whole to the power n plus p to the power n, which converges to 0 as n tends to infinity provided P belongs to the open interval 0 to 1, that means provided P is a proper positive fraction. This implies the probability of occurring such an extreme case is negligible if n is large enough. From this we can say that for large n, x bar can be used as the maximum likelihood estimator of P even belonging to the open interval 0 to 1 in practice. Now we can discuss an alternative way to remove the undefinedness of maximum likelihood estimator if P belongs to the open interval 0 to 1. Take the MLE as P hat equal to epsilon star if x bar equal to 0. It is equal to x bar itself provided x bar is greater than 0 and strictly less than 1. And the MLE is equal to 1 minus epsilon double star if x bar equal to 1, where both epsilon star and epsilon double star are infinitesimally small positive numbers. Obviously, root n into p hat minus p can be decomposed as root n into x bar minus p plus root n into p hat minus x bar. Now, from Lindeberg-Levy central limit theorem, it is easy to note that root n into x bar minus p converges in distribution to normal with mean 0 and variance p into 1 minus p. Also, as the event p hat minus x bar equal to 0 implies another event that mod of p hat minus x bar is less than epsilon for every epsilon greater than 0, so we can write the probability of the second event is greater than equal to probability of the first event, that is probability of p hat equal to x bar, which is same as saying probability that 0 less than x bar less than 1, and on simplification this probability is equal to 1 minus p whole to the power n minus p to the power n. Clearly, this converges to 1 as n tends to infinity for every epsilon greater than 0 for p belonging to the open interval 0 to 1, that is for p being a perfect positive fraction. From the definition of convergence in probability, thus we can say here that p hat minus x bar converges to 0 in probability. So, by Slutsky's theorem, as mentioned earlier, we get that root n into p hat minus p also converges in distribution to normal with mean 0 and variance p into 1 minus p. So, the proposed maximum likelihood estimator p hat and the sample mean x bar are equivalent, at least asymptotically. Our next examples will reveal the fact that MLE may be worthless also. Let X follow Bernoulli P distribution where 1 by 4 less than equal to P less than equal to 3 by 4. That means the parameter space of P is restricted. Then, based on the single observation x, the likelihood function LP equal to 1 minus p provided x equal to 0, and it is p provided x equal to 1. So this implies, given x equal to 0, the MLE of p is equal to 1/4, and for x equal to 1, it is 3/4. Now, we have only two coordinate points, that is 0, 1/4 and 1, 3/4 on the paired variable x and the maximum likelihood estimator of p. Now, to establish a relationship of the maximum likelihood estimator of p based on x on the basis of these two coordinate points, we can say as a suggestion that p hat MLE equal to 2 into x plus 1 by 4. The other possibilities are x into 2 to the power x plus 1 by 4 or 3 to the power x by 4, etc., which are all equivalent by their performance. This implies the mean squared error of the maximum likelihood estimator p hat equal to expectation of p hat minus p whole square, where we consider p hat equal to 2 into x plus 1 by 4. On simplification, it is easy to get that MSE of p hat is equal to 1 by 16. Now, just take a trivial estimator of p, say p star hat equal to half, which does not seem to have very strong mathematical basis. Now, the mean squared error of such an estimator p star hat is equal to half minus p whole square, which is less than equal to 1 by 16 for all p belonging to the closed interval 1/4 to 3/4 with strict inequality attaining for p not equal to 1/4 and 3/4. This means the mean squared error of the trivial estimator p star hat is uniformly smaller than the mean squared error of the maximum likelihood estimator p hat. Automatically, this means the performance of the maximum likelihood estimator p hat is uniformly worse even than a trivial estimator p star hat of p. Our next example will establish that in some cases even MLE may not be consistent. Let Xij follow normal with mean mu I and variance sigma square for all I from 1 to n and for all j equal to 1 and 2. In this situation, the likelihood function L theta equal to 1 by 2 pi to the power n into sigma to the power twice n e to the power minus half summation I from 1 to n summation j from 1 to 2 xij minus mu I whole square by sigma square. The maximum likelihood estimator of mu I and sigma square are respectively mu I hat equal to xi bar and sigma square hat equal to double summation I from 1 to n j from 1 to 2 xij minus xi bar whole square by 2n through a straightforward derivation of MLE. It is to be noted that here xi bar equal to summation j from 1 to 2 xij by 2. Now on simplification, finally we can write sigma square hat equal to 1 by n summation I from 1 to n xi1 minus xi2 whole square by 2 sigma square into sigma square by 2, which converges to sigma square by 2 in probability using Khinchin's-Wyckoff large number. Because by using Khinchin's-Wyckoff large number, we can say that 1 by n summation I from 1 to n xi1 minus xi2 whole square divided by 2 sigma square converges to 1 in probability. Hence, in this example, it is clear that sigma square hat is such an estimator which converges to sigma square by 2 in probability but not to sigma square. This implies sigma square hat is not consistent for sigma square from the first principle of consistency. This example is a famous example due to Niemann and Scott. Our following example will help us to establish this fact. Let x1, x2, xn be IID rectangular 0 theta variables. Theta belongs to the open interval 0 to infinity. Then, as we have already discussed, the maximum likelihood estimator of theta is the maximum order statistic x order n. Now, if we consider the probability that n into theta minus x order n less than equal to t, that probability will become 1 minus n by theta to the power n integration 0 to theta minus t by n integrand t to the power n minus 1 dt by using the PDF of x order n as n by theta to the power n t to the power n minus 1 within the interval 0 less than t less than equal to theta. Now on simplification, this becomes 1 minus within bracket 1 minus t by n theta whole to the power n, which converges to 1 minus e to the power minus t by theta as n tends to infinity. So what we get from this asymptotic probability expression? We can easily say that n into theta minus x order n, this random variable converges to the distribution of random variable z, where z follows exponential distribution with density 1 by theta e to the power minus x by theta as n tends to infinity. So this is an example where the large sample distribution involved with the MLE is not normal but exponential. As a note, we should mention here that root n into theta minus x order n converges to 0 in distribution. In the same direction, we can pose another example. Let x1, x2, xn follow independently the common positive density f theta x equal to e to the power minus x minus theta x greater than equal to theta. Theta belongs to the parameter space minus infinity to plus infinity. This typical distribution is known as shifted exponential distribution. In this example, with the least effort, we can show that x order 1 is the maximum likelihood estimator of theta, where x order 1 means the minimum of x1, x2, xn. Suppose yn equal to x order 1 minus theta. Then we can derive the distribution function of yn at the point small y equal to 0 if y less than equal to 0 and equal to 1 minus e to the power minus ny if y is greater than 0. Let us define another function capital F star y which is equal to 0 if y less than 0 and equal to 1 if y greater than equal to 0. Now, with a minimum effort, we can check the following three facts. First, f star y is a distribution function. Second, f star y is the distribution function of a degenerate probability distribution with degeneracy at y equal to 0. And the third fact is the distribution function of the random variable yn converges to capital F star y for all y except at y equal to 0, which is the only point of discontinuity. So in this example also we can get that the asymptotic distribution of the maximum likelihood estimator is not normal but some degenerate distribution. As a concluding remark, we should say that MLE is sometimes biased but not always. MLE is frequently sufficient and consistent too, but not always. Under certain regularity conditions, MLE is asymptotically normal, and the examples discussed in this module are merely the violations of those regularity conditions. The limitations or drawbacks of MLE discussed here are not the cases we will encounter very frequently.